Have you ever had a topic in health and wellness or even in biohacking, longevity that you wanted to get a little more advanced knowledge on and you realize you're in over your head? Me too. And I do this for a living. In today's episode, I'm pulling back the curtain and showing you exactly how I use ChatGPT to get battle ready for high level biohacking interviews or just topics I want to get better acquainted with. So one, I'll walk you through how I broke down the complicated science of peptides specifically in this example, using AI to turn a college level topic into something even I can understand. Two, while we're at it, I want to give you a little bit more science behind peptides, which is why you may have even clicked this link to learn the simple science of how peptides stem from proteins all the way down to amino acids and why that matters to us. And then three, I've asked ChatGPT, what is the future of AI with all these different types of peptides or all supplements in general, and had a really cool answer for that I didn't know was coming. So if you're looking for a little bit of some science class, stick around. So I thought it'd be a cool episode to go through the process of getting ready for a guest who's going to be talking about a certain topic that's a little above my pay grade. And lo and behold, ChatGPT to the rescue and doing like a deep dive onto everything related to that product and the science that goes into whatever we're going to be talking about on my show. And then the beauty of ChatGPT is being able to ask questions in however format that is easy for your brain to digest. And I think ChatGPT knows how to respond back to it. And I think it could be used for anyone in health and fitness as well. I'll show that on a different episode where I talk about how it kind of fixed my eating structure for the way I wanted to do it. So let me show you. Here in my window, I was learning more about peptides and I was looking at the company that was going to be having on my show. And by the way, it's probably 2 months out before I put that episode on. But let's go through some basic science of peptides in general. Peptides come from the digestion process of proteins. The body further digests proteins down to amino acids. During that process, the body can use peptides for whatever function it wants and then uses amino acids for whatever it wants, even after it's broken all the way down to aminos. Can the body remake peptides it needs from those aminos? Am I correct so far? I talked to my dad. He's a Western medical doctor, long retired. It's just the basic science of peptides. And it all stems from protein. You can get enough from animal protein. The problem is the digestion process breaks down everything, usually all the way down to amino acids. Some of these peptides have signaling components and can be used for structural components of your body. But that digestion process typically ruins all of that, which is why I needed to go through ChatGPT to figure all this out. So it says you're mostly on point. You're definitely thinking about it the right way. Peptides come from protein digestion. When you eat protein, the body can use peptides for functions and act as signaling molecules for hormones, neurotransmitters, or have biological effects from being broken down all the way. And then yes, amino acids can be recycled back into peptides, or it'll just be thrown into waste. So right in here, the next thing for the clarifications, absorption matters, which has been the huge topic of a lot of research scientists out there and companies trying to give you a supplement in peptide form that can bypass the digestion process, at least to a point where it has the most optimal chance of being absorbed. And this is the part I didn't really understand. A previous guest I had on, Dr. Patel, who talked about his glutathione supplement. Glutathione is a peptide, helps with the liver metabolism, energy throughout the body of sparing your ATP so you can use it for other things. Everyone knows glutathione is just a good thing to supplement as we're aging. One of the biggest things when I was having my talk with Dr. Patel that I didn't really realize was that there's a million glutathione supplements out there already. And the problem is the body breaks it down as soon as you put it in through the digestion process. Having an IV drip seems to be a little bit better, but he says even when in the blood, the body will take it, dismantle it down to aminos, use what it needs. Very low chance of the glutathione being kept as whole and used, and then thus ending the conversation with him for his product, which was a body spray that you put on your body to allow it to absorb through the skin, which also has the capabilities of your body dismantling it. But for some reason with his sugar molecules he uses in his proprietary blend, it has the highest increase of uptake. This is the thought process when it comes down to like all your supplements. But for people interested in peptides, this is why not all peptides are created equal because of this problem. Proteins are long chains of amino acids. Peptides are short chain amino acids. And obviously amino acids when it's broken down into its finest component. Then I asked, do peptides just act as signaling molecules and then get further broken down, or does the body use those peptides in entirety? So this is where it started talking about bioactive peptides. I was having my discussion with my podcast guest. Bioactive peptides are the ones that are doing what everyone on social media is craving, right? You know, losing weight, having better mental clarity, solving depression, And it's the ones that are acting as signaling molecules. Think hormones, neurotransmitter, immune messengers. They bind to receptors and they get broken down afterwards after they do their job. Bioactive peptides just means that they signal and do something versus other peptides. But the ones we're after are the bioactive peptides because we're trying to biohack. After signaling, it gets degraded into smaller peptides, then into amino acids, either gets excreted or your body uses the amino acids. And just the way ChatGPT is explaining this, I think it knows me to dumb this down. So I understand. I was never a science major. Then I asked ChatGPT, so after talking to some research scientists, it seems that there's a problem with supplemental peptides. As with a lot of other supplements, you can take this peptide supplement, but once it goes through digestion, the body tends to do whatever it wants with the supplement, which could be breaking it down into aminos. We kind of went over that, but just to see its answer, it says, yep, your research scientist buddies are right, and that's been the biggest thing. Most oral peptides supplements get hit with the acid bath and digestive enzymes in the GI tract, which break them into aminos, eliminate their peptide identity. So the whole thing is relying on the peptide being absorbed intact. So how do we get around that? And here's some cool stuff. The podcast guests I had come on my show have their own proprietary blend and caplets and powders, which doesn't seem to be the best, but we'll go through their AI-assisted models of proprietary absorption. I've been hearing this word a lot, liposomal delivery or encapsulation. And what that is peptides or whatever supplements you hear are liposomal delivery is basically in a lipid fat-based shell, like a tiny fat bubble, helps protect it from digestion and has the best chance of helping it pass through the gut lining intact. They use that for glutathione or curcumin. I'm starting to see more of these liposomal supplements, a little more pricey, but hey, absorption is everything. It goes on to talk about sublingual, injections, nasal spray, and all the way down to caplets and powders, which are not technically the best, depending on the type of supplement or peptide that you're trying to absorb. So this is very sciencey, but I just wanted to show you the thought process of going using ChatGPT to prep me for this. And also I use it for everyday things like tweaking my diet, which like I said, I'll go into another episode. So then I asked ChatGPT for glutathione specifically. I've used 2 different products now, transdermal patches. I've used the spray and I've used supplements, caplets forms. Asked it which its best method for delivery is. And it said, it's a tripeptide. It's small and delicate, very prone to break down in the gut. And so number 1, they put the liposomal. Number 2, IV, which is expensive. If I'm going to go that route, I'd rather go with Dr. Patel's spray with his proprietary blend because I did notice the difference on my fitness tracker. What's cool is ChatGPT will take all those different variables, give an easy use, effective score, the cost to it. And you can do this with any supplement you're looking at. You don't have to take ChatGPT's word exactly, but at least it's fine-tuning the process of discovery and having me get a little bit more educated before I go purchase something or have someone on my show. So then going back to my podcast guest and their company, having ChatGPT research them, like what makes them different in their peptides. Their whole play was natural food-derived peptides, mostly from plants, to hopefully bypass people's allergies. Plants seem to be better treated than animals in the final products. Their AI-driven discovery, their proprietary delivery system, and their metabolic matrix technology. So this was cool to get in a short little recap form. Then I started going down the idea of why plant-based peptides versus animal-based peptides. Number 1 is the broader appeal for the healthy vegan market, lower allergen risk, sustainability, everyone's talking about that. Then their AI, precision peptide discovery, delivery system, and then their bioavailability assumption, saying that plant-derived peptides might be more tolerated and absorbed. I go on to ask about the animal side, and yes, animal side seems to be a little bit closer to us humans. We might absorb it better, but with all the issues that I just talked about, that's why plants might be the better play here, especially if you are eating a lot of meat. This could be the supplemental side of using a little bit more plant-based nutrition. So finally, I just wanted to ask, why can't we communicate with our own body to tell it that we want our bodies to use these peptides to remain intact for a specific purpose? Do you think we'll ever be able to solve this? Because our conscious mind doesn't have direct access to the enzymes breaking things down, receptors binding molecules, transporters, evolution, and all these archaic systems in our body. Having allergies is one of them. We're not worried about dying from allergies in the wild. This whole system of having an allergic reaction is something just useless, but that's our evolution and the way our bodies are made. Then biochemistry, feedback loops, and then it comes to, the cool part is for most of this, you can communicate through what you eat, how you move your body, how you sleep, what you think, mindfulness. And then it says, Here's where our technology is heading. Neurofeedback, learn to train your brain waves consciously. Brain-computer interfaces like Neuralink, like the stuff Elon's messing with. Peptide signaling AI, apps that detect your peptide levels in real time and adjust your supplements or food options on the fly. And then epigenetic control tools, where learning how to switch genes on and off through lifestyle. In the future, this is all programmable stuff we might be able to do. So I just wanted to show you my thought process, how I'm looking at, different theories of diet, movement, inflammation, different supplements, and using ChatGPT to use as a second brain. It has some cool stuff that might be useful for you. I wanted to walk you through one part of my life of having a guest on the show with a extreme topic that I knew little to nothing about. Now I feel like between ChatGPT and having the guest on my show, just caught up by the last 10 years on just one subject, peptides. And there's a million more. So that's it for today. Thanks for listening. Check out the links in my show notes, my SKOOL community. I'm always putting out there. It's a free community. It's where I spend my time. And we do coffee chats every 2 weeks. I answer questions daily, just put up a lot of stuff that I don't put up on social media. If you're interested, check it out. I'll catch you on the next one.